Here's what I'm noticing the more I share my story. So the more vocal I am about my experience and what's happened to me in the past as a anorexic and binge eater is that people aren't okay with it. I remember being in high school and talking about my eating disorder and educating people about the signs of eating disorders and how to help people. If your friend had an eating disorder, what to say to them, how to best help them. And I had someone who had an eating disorder come up to me and say, "You can't talk about that. It's not okay to talk about your eating disorder in public." I've literally had someone say that to me, and that's what I'm noticing now. And the more I'm vocal and I'm sharing very transparently, very honestly, very blatantly my past, I'm getting people telling me that it's not okay to do that. It's not okay to talk about what happens behind closed doors. It's not okay to share family secrets. It's not okay to talk about other people who are involved. But there's really no getting around it. If you want a real story, if you want the real honest truth, and if you want to help people, you need to be as specific as possible. So I could say, I had this belief, I'm shifting to this belief, and that's that. But people don't know, people might want to know how I came up with this belief in the first place. And that is because of this experience, which may involve, and probably likely does involve someone else. And we're not talking about big issues. Um, Suicide prevention. I mean, it's becoming more of a thing now that it's getting more okay to talk about eating disorders or child abuse or rape or molestation or suicide or mental illness, but it's not as okay as it could be. We're not very open about talking about things, and that to me is a problem because if you're going to recover from something, you have to start from where you are. Alcoholics don't go into an AA meeting and say, "My name is so and so, and I'm working through my process and I'm processing things." No, they go in and they say, "My name is so and so, and I'm an alcoholic," because you have to start where you are. But as a society, we're not making it safe to start where people are. We're not making it safe for people to share their past and to talk honestly and openly about what's going on for them. And that, I think, needs to change. And if we want to help people recover and if we want to help people in general, we need to create a space for people to be able to say, like, my parents are abusing me. I'm not saying that, but like, I've worked with children who were being abused by their parents, but they just don't talk about it because and you kind of have to figure it out, right? So like people that I grew up with, people in my school still don't know, or some people still didn't know that I had an eating disorder because it just wasn't something that you really talk about with people. It's not like you go up and introduce yourself. "My name's Shannon. I have an eating disorder." Um, it's just something that wasn't really talked about. And I think if you want to address issues, you have to be open and honest about it. And that as a society, we need to create a space for that. And we need to be able to openly and honestly share our stories with other people. And I think it's incredible the women that I've seen who share their survival stories, and people who are survivors of rape, who are survivors of some kind of disease like cancer, people who are survivors of eating disorders, people who are survivors of like lung She was a child soldier. I think it's incredible. She just shares her story so openly and honestly. And she was like, "I was a child soldier, and in I want to say Vietnam or Korea. Not entirely sure off the top of my head, but she shares her story and she's very honest about that. And there are people who likely will have judgments about that. And but for her, it's more important to share her story and to make her story known than it is to, for me, I share my story not for the few people who are going to say, "I can't believe you're doing that. That's not okay." I do it for the people who message me and say, "I learned so much from your video. I learned so much from reading your blog. I learned so much from your newsletter." And I'm writing for those people. I'm doing this for the people that I'm helping and not for the people who are going to naysay whatever I do. And so if you're currently sharing your story and you feel like it's not okay or people are telling you it's not okay, don't worry about it. People are probably going to do that anyway. Remember that you're doing it for a bigger cause. And if you're a person who's naysaying someone's story, Why are you doing that? Why are you silencing someone's voice when they're trying to be open and honest and authentic about who they are, their experience, and maybe they're trying to help other people in the process? So this is like a rant that's very close to my heart because I've experienced it over and over again, and I know that other people are experiencing it too, and I just wish it didn't always have to happen. So live on.